Alright everybody, my name is Ichigo with your first community AMA. Um, I am the co-founder of both UniSed and HighSed. Me and high school LTR pickup did both, we both founded those two subreddits, and I guess it got a lot bigger than we thought, and now I figure it's time for something for the community, so I'm trying to give back to you guys. So yeah, let's get right into the AMA. So I'm going to start with a couple questions by the guy in a shirt and tie. And his question was, where were you before and after you started pickup? Do you like where you are now? And who were your mentors and idols in pickup, and what drew you to them? So before I answer these, a little bit about myself. I'm 18 years old. I'm currently a freshman at a university in the United States in Pennsylvania. I'm having the time of my life right now because I am a college freshman and I don't do shit. Yeah, I grew up I went to high school in South Korea. I mean, went to international school there, and I picked up seduction about 9 months ago, I'd say. And from then on, I've just been practicing and practicing and keep on going since then. So the first question by the guy in shirt and tie is, where were you before and after you started pickup? And I'll say that before I started pickup, I definitely had a couple of girlfriends. I was fairly good with women. I was pretty good with getting that one girl, but I had some pretty terrible one-itis all the time. I would always find a girl that I liked and obsess over her, and then get that girl, and then I find myself getting bored. Then when I found seduction, I just saw myself, in that view, and I realized that that's one-itis, and I analyzed myself, and I was fascinated by this concept of what is one-itis, and as such, I was just really happy that there's a polarity in that with abundance mentality. So yeah, basically before I was definitely in the AFC area, and now you could put me more on the side of a PUA, but I'm definitely not to the point where I could be called, like a professional PUA or anything. Definitely not anything like that. But yeah. His second question was, do you like where you are now? And I'd have to say I really like it. I know I could pull a girl when I want to and when I need to. I know all the basics and all, like Kino and everything, inner games, everything's great. But I think back to that inner game, that's what's huge right now for me. Is my inner game is rock solid, and I am so happy with that right now. So I gotta say, I'm just very, very happy with where I am right now. But of course, you always have to keep going and keep improving upon yourself. The guy in a shirt and tie had a third question that I didn't say before, which was, if you had to teach everyone in UniSed one skill related to pickup, what would it be? Basically, what is the thing you see lacking most around the subreddit? It's things such as conversation, opening, cold opening, agree and amplify. And I definitely say that the thing most lacking around the subject is fucking inner game and resulting one-itis. I was just talking about that. People message me and they talk about on every single thread that they make. They go, "Oh, Ichigo, she's the one for me. How do I get this girl? How do I close this one girl? And she means so much. There's something there." Or things like, I don't know, like, no, I can't just go up and talk to her. That's weird. No, Ichigo, I just can't get out of my shell. And I'm telling you guys right now, any excuse that you make like that, it's a complete fucking cop-out. And you can definitely get out of your shell when you need to. You can approach even if you are introverted. If you have that one-itis, obtain an abundance mentality, work on inner game. It's definitely the groundwork for every single aspect of pickup. Who were your mentors and idols in pickup, and what drew you to them? To be completely honest, I have never read anything by David Savoy or anything like that. I've never read The Game, never read Conquer Your Campus, Full Disclosure. I've never read any of those. Probably should, but I just don't have time right now. But yeah, not really any mentors and idols. But I did hear about this one guy named Gunwich who apparently shot his girlfriend in the face. And it's kind of fucked up. But yeah. So Liam XO7 has a couple questions. His first question is, what are the top 3 things that you believe are essential to gaining and improving your inner game, and how do you go about getting and developing them? I'm kind of sick right now, I'm sorry. So in terms of inner game, everyone's definitely different in this respect, such as, I'll try to explain a couple of things that I specifically do to strengthen my own inner game, or at least what I used to do when it wasn't fully internalized within myself. So the first thing I did was compile a mantra, or like a little anthology of little quotes and bits and pieces of wisdom that I just created into a couple of phrases. Things like from poetry, from literature, inspirational quotes, make a document, post it where you see it. If you're having trouble, recite it to yourself, internalize it really. And if that means you put it on your mirror and like whenever you wash your face every morning, because you are practicing clean hygiene and everything like that, right? You gotta be doing that. I am recording something!
I'm sorry. I love you.
Yeah, that's one of my friends. She's actually one of the girls that I friend zoned. Okay, yeah, so if that means whether you have to do that, then do that. And second thing that really helped me was dancing. I don't mean like club dancing or rock dancing or anything like that. I really mean just dance by yourself. Close the blinds, lock the door. Blast your favorite music and rock the fuck out, because nobody is looking. So why are you so afraid? I found out when I tried doing that before, I felt self-conscious and I was just by myself. And I realized there's no reason to be afraid. Like, just dance when there's no one's looking, and when you actually are dancing in a party setting or a club setting, then that fear will go away when you're actually on the dance floor. And it really helps you get to state. And if you're saying that, no, Chris, Ichigo, I'm a really shitty dancer, I can definitely guarantee you that I am a worse dancer. Third, possibly most important thing, is realize that at the end of the day, you're the only one who really matters. And this applies to one-nightists and outcome independence especially. Who cares that you didn't close that one girl or you didn't approach all the sets? As long as you had fun, that's what counts in the end. And that, in the end, is actually very attractive to women because, well, everyone likes a man who's self-grounded and knows what he wants. Liam's second question was, when running game, or if you believe in the philosophy of game is just part of being you, being yourself, which is true. What are 2 things you try to keep in mind, for what reason, and how do you do it? So there's 2 little bits and pieces of information that I have. And the first one is that whenever I have any sort of interaction, I realize that that other party, whether it is a woman I'm seducing, or it is a man I'm trying to make friends with, or an AMOG that I'm trying to lock in with, I realize that he or she cannot take anything from me. She may be able to give, and I may be able to give, but really, they can't really take anything. The only way that anyone can take anything from you is if you let them on their terms. The second question applies a lot more to women, and when you're talking to a girl, you need to realize that she's a human being. She's not some sort of mythical fucking creature who you have to be like analyzing every single sentence with. She's just a human. People like to talk. We're social animals. That's how it goes. So yeah, they can't take anything from you, and they're human. 07SS has this question: do you find the HV9s and 10s in college to be more or less picky than in high school? I'd definitely say that they're less picky. Because honestly, in high school, there's a smaller selection of people. And even if you go to a large public school, you're fairly confined to the people you have classes with, considering that you may have maybe an hour of free time max to socialize with people you don't know. That's why girls in high school can be so bitchy, is because they're more valuable in the eyes of people might want them. So they're basically given free reign to be so bitchy. In college, there's simply more people and more selection. and as such, yeah, they're less picky. Ideally, in both cases, though, it won't matter because it won't matter that they're picky because you're the one who's the prize, and you don't need to be pandering to any girl. Wolf in the Field has a couple questions. Where does your motivation come from? Actually, it's just that one question, which is where does your motivation come from? And I gotta say, now I really don't know. I mean, motivation for what? Like practicing seduction. I think part of it has to do with the fact that it's part of me now, and that it'd be really unnatural for me to just stop practicing game. I've successfully internalized everything in that, you know. I've internalized all those parts in games and little bits and tricks of like conversation threading or like running the cube or anything like that. I've internalized it, so it's all very natural to me. And I really love where I am at now, so it's always good to keep up that feeling, you know? When you're in a state of just pure euphoria. And that's a state that everyone wants to be in, so if you need to be practicing game to be in that state, which is the case for me, then yeah. I guess that's where my motivation comes from. How to properly disqualify to yourself to the so-called gatekeeper or alpha female in college social situations, tips on networking, etc. by Roar8480. Basically, you find her, you approach her, you build attraction, but then you friend zone her because it'll disarm her. You'll get access to a higher social rung. You'll be free to approach and close any part of her social group, and not only that, but a nice side effect of this is that the gatekeeper will be intensely attracted to you. Yeah. I don't know how to say this name. It's Bobide, I guess. Bobyd has this question. I have a problem keeping conversations after the opener. What tips can you give me to get the conversation flowing after just the opener? It always has to be contextual. You need to be talking about what's in the area. If it's a cold approach, or like you talk about what your opener was, basically. So just look up conversation threading. There's a lot in the seduction sidebar. And Fapper on the Roof and Habib had a couple questions about race, and I want to do a special PSA about that. Whether you're a minority or whether the girl is a minority really does not matter. If you're attracted to a girl due to her race, she'll know and you'll blow right the fuck out. What matters is you need to be a gentleman and you need to seduce a girl for who she is as well as her looks. Like if you're a minority like me, I'm obviously Asian, it really doesn't matter at all because Habib had a question about, how to overcome a limiting belief. Well, that limiting belief is kind of bullshit. It's another cop-out for a failed inner game. It's a way for you to cover your failures, saying I wasn't able to close this girl because I'm Asian. Like that's just not how it works. Like it's stems in your own failure in inner game, your own failure in escalation, and you need to. The first step is to blame yourself for those limitations and not your race, and then fix the problem from there. So that's it for me, guys, and I hope you guys learned a little bit, and guess I'll see you guys around, alright? Keep commenting, keep posting, and please keep active in the subreddit, because I do not want to go down the same route that seduction did. Thank you.